Proteas. Hope you had a wonderful day of learning and fun. And now is afternoon circle time. Today, we're going to read a little bit about caves. What are landforms? Look around when you are outside. You may notice grassy hills, rocky cliffs, valleys, or caves. Earth is made of these natural landforms. This book is about caves. Earth is always changing. Earth's landforms are made in different ways over millions of years. For example, erosion wears down the land and creates valleys and canyons. Caves are made by erosion too. That is our planet Earth. And we have a picture of a cave that was made by erosion over millions of years. What are caves? Caves are large, hollow areas inside a rock or under the ground. Caves can be difficult to find. Many times they are hidden away and only have a small opening. Caves take millions of years to take shape. The Jenolan caves in the Blue Mountains of Australia are some of the world's oldest caves. They are 340 million years old. That is older than the dinosaurs. Here we see a picture of a deep, deep cave. There's even a man going inside of it. Notice how he's wearing a safety harness so he doesn't fall in. Different types of caves. Caves can be so small that only a child could fit inside, or they can be as big as 40 football fields. Some have secret passages and water running through them. Other caves are just one big dry room. The four main types of caves are solution caves, lava caves, sea caves, and glacier caves. Wind, water, air, and even volcanoes make these caves into different shapes and sizes. Here we get two examples. This one is in Kentucky in the United States. And this one is in South Dakota. Some are very big and some are very, very small. Some are dry and some are wet. Solution caves. Solution caves are made when rainwater drips into tiny cracks in underground rock. The rocks are made of limestone. The limestone turns the rainwater into a solution. The dripping solution carves holes in the limestone rock. The holes become caves filled with water. After hundreds of years, the water drains and the cave dries out. Here we get two more examples. This one is in New Mexico, here in the United States. Notice the big rock from the top. Here is another example. This one is in Mexico, Cenote Cave. This one has a lot of water inside of it. Lava caves. When a volcano erupts, lava flows down the mountainside and makes tunnels under the ground. The lava on top cools and hardens, but the lava underneath stays soft. As the soft lava keeps traveling, it leaves a hole. The hole becomes a lava cave. Lava caves are also called lava tube caves. Here we see an example of one in Hawaii. I remember our friend Edie went to Hawaii. Here we have another example. This one is in California, here in the United States. Notice it kind of looks like a tube. It was made by lava. There are different types of caves. Sea caves. Sea caves are made when the sea crashes against cliffs over a long period of time. Where the waves find a weak spot in the rock, such as a crack, part of the cliff gives away. Over time, more water seeps into the crack and makes the hole bigger and bigger. The water cracks the rock from the inside. Sand and rock carried by waves help to erode the rock more. Here we see an example of a cave that was made by the sea in Scotland, close to where Miss Karen lived in England. This is an example of a cave in Italy, all the way in Europe. You can see this cave holds a lot of water. Glacier caves. Glacier caves are found on top of high mountains and in cold places like the Arctic and Antarctica. Glacier caves are made when ice melts. The melting ice makes large holes inside glaciers. As the holes from the melting ice grow bigger, they become glacier caves. Other types of caves in places where temperatures get below freezing have ice inside them too. Here you see a cave entirely made up of ice. The water melted the ice around it and made a long cave, a long tube like cave. See, a man is right there. This is another example of a cave made of ice in Switzerland, where Miss Karen's dad lives. That all that on top of this man is ice that has been carved by melting by water. Wind and talus caves. Wind caves and talus caves are smaller caves. Wind caves are made from a soft rock called sandstone. Strong winds and water carve holes in the sandstone to make these caves. Talus caves are opening between boulders piled high on mountaintops. Many of these caves are small. Some, though, join up to make long paths under the boulders. Here you see some examples. This one is in Rock State Park, California. You see how that big hole in the middle of the rock is? Wind did that. The wind blew and blew and blew, and eventually, over a long period of time, made that little cave. And this one over here is in the British Virgin Islands. It's a little bit different. This one was made between boulders. You can see the big rocks all around it. Cave features. Hidden in the darkness of caves, crazy rock shapes hang from the ceilings and rise up from the ground. Stalactites are icicle shaped and are made when water and minerals drip from a cave's roof. Stalactite has a C in it, which helps you to remember it grows from the ceiling. Stalagmites grow up from the floor. They usually grow from the water and minerals that drip off the end of stalactites. When they grow big enough, stalactites and stalagmites join to form columns. These are the big icicle-shaped rocks. They're made from dripping minerals and water from the top. And those make the ones on the floor too. They carve the rock into these type of shapes. Who lives in these caves? Troglobites are creatures that live in caves. Troglobites have become so used to cave life that they cannot survive outside a cave. This troglobite has lost its eyes since it has lived in dark caves for so long. Look at that. He's lived in a dark, dark cave so long that he evolved to not have any eyes anymore. He doesn't need them. It's so dark in there. Creatures that live in caves have very strong senses to help them feel their way around. In the dark, they do not need to camouflage themselves from animals that will attack. Many are totally white. This one is the Olm salamander. See how his body's completely white? He doesn't need a camouflage in anything because it's so dark in the caves. Fungi. Plants cannot grow in caves because plants need sunlight to survive, and there is no sunlight in caves. Fungi can grow in caves. They grow on the walls and floors. Fungi also grow on the droppings of animals that live in the caves. Guano or bat droppings play a big role in cave life. Creatures such as spiders eat the guano. Farmers also collect the guano and use it as fertilizer on their farms. So this is the fungi. that grows in the caves. And these are all bats that sleep and live in the cave. They go in there, they hang upside down, and they take a nap, and then they go out, they find some bugs, and then come back to their cave. World's coolest caves. New caves are still being discovered today. The Difeng Dong Cave in China was not discovered until the 1990s. It has one of the world's largest cave entrances, which is more than 550 yards wide. Underwater caves are hard to discover. The world's longest underwater caves are near the east coast of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. This group of caves is almost 1,000 miles long. So we're still discovering new caves all around. This person is underwater, swimming through the cave. Caves today. Caves are fascinating places to explore, but they can also be dangerous. You should never explore a cave without an expert. Caves are also fragile. When people visit caves too often, they can cause damage. Cave creatures are also in danger because of global warming. These creatures need steady temperatures to stay alive. If caves get hotter and weather becomes wilder, they will die. So if you find a cave, you have to be very careful and explore it with somebody who's an expert. And that's it about caves. Hope you guys enjoyed the book. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, and we'll see you guys tomorrow in the morning. Bye, Proteas.